Okay, well, we're here. Welcome to the Legally Meme Museum for Scourge. As always, I've sorted stuff into some categories. We have the honorable mentions, we have the Krangled stuff, and we have some of the best stuff. Hi YouTube and all that. Hey guys. We could zoom in a bit. I could zoom in a little bit like this. So we have some better view, maybe? These are the honorable mentions. First of all, we have 5 bricked Magebloods that we tainted Chaos Orbed into white belts. So these used to be Magebloods, then they bricked into rares, and now they're white. And same thing on the other side, we have some white leather belts, which used to be Headhunters. Then we have a Maloney's. This is a double influence Maloney's. We made this yesterday. Just, yeah, why not? Shaper, Zappy, looks cool. We have an Alberon's Warpath with +1 maximum number of skeletons and +1 maximum number of skeletons. So that's +2 maximum number of skeletons, if my math is correct. We have a Krangled Reefbane, which says you cannot fish while standing in water. So you can only fish with this from like outside the water. This one is a Hiltless, which gives you 23 dex. However, it's more dex requirement than it gives. This one is a Brass Dome, which is supposed to roll up to 5 all res, but it only rolled 4, but then someone corrupted it, and now it's 5. So it's 4 + 1. It's as if it wasn't corrupted. This is Shackles of the Wretched. This used to be the Self-Cursed Temp Chains gloves, and now that build doesn't work, and this is just like a memory. This is for you are cursed with temporal chains. Unfortunately, you cannot scale that, so this can never be as good as the old Self-Cursed Temp Chains, but it's like a memory. Excellent. This is a leather belt that's fractured. I just have this here because it looks bugged. Like, I don't know, like a fractured leather belt. Look at how that looks. It looks like someone took like a bite out of it. I don't know, it's just weird. This one is From the Void. This is a prophecy that we got from 777 Void cards that we turned in this league. So we got From the Void, From the Void. So that's why this is here. This is just a Krangled map with 8 basic currency items. We thought that this is gonna be really insane this league, because oh my god, you can put like Nemesis 18 in a map. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of rare monsters in a map, and a lot of this basic currency is actually just like transmutes and stuff, so it's not great. It's a Legacy Scourge map. It has 60% quantity of items from found in Nightmare. They disabled these from being able to be scourged after the first week or second week of the league. Actually during the first week, I think. So yeah, this map has no mods. This is just a yellow map with no mods, so probably someone annulled it and then scourged it or something. I don't know who and why made this, but okay. This is a synthesized ruby ring, just a white ring with 3 implicits, kind of wonky. This is a Legal Pride with 1/1/1/1 warriors under Akoya. Cool. We have a Seed Breath. Now this is a PoE amulet, which means it's supposed to have mana regen on the implicit, but it doesn't. It has life regen. This one is a Comb's Heart with +3 projectile gems. That is very strong, but unfortunately it has -35 life, so it's a little nerf to the 500 life. This is a wand with a lot of damage. It has spell damage, fire damage, fire damage, cold damage, cold damage, lightning damage, and lightning damage. That's a lot of damage. Then we have every influence cold iron point. I disabled sockets specifically so that we can look at these. They look pretty cool, I think. Someone made a full set this league. This is just the Victorios with 6 white sockets and 0 link. So I thought that was pretty cool. Can put it here at least, honorable mention. And then finally, we have a cold iron point with deal no physical damage and deal no elemental damage. Now you can still deal chaos damage with this, and there is a double Scourged, deal no physical damage, deal no chaos damage, Cold Iron Point, that was posted on Reddit during the first 2 weeks of the league. I messaged that guy on Reddit, but I got no response. That would be the ultimate pacifist weapon. If you put that weapon on, you cannot deal any type of damage. So, but yeah, with this one you can still do chaos. So that was the honorable mentions. Now let's take a look at the Krangles. First off, we have Comb's Roots with reduced movement speed, very slow, and cannot be frozen. Now, you already cannot be frozen with Unwavering Stance, but yeah, this is just bad. It's just a slow Comb's Roots. It's just terrible. Next, we have a Carcass Jack with -2 level of Socketed Gems and Ancestral Bond. So, you can only do damage with totems, and your Socketed Gems are worse. So, absolutely great. Absolutely terrible. Also 0 link, by the way. So, 6 red, which is 6 off color, and 0 link. So that is quite the Carcass Jack indeed. Now we have an Abyssus with a lot of increased damage taken. You have 49% increased physical damage taken, you have 20% increased damage taken when on full life, and you take 4% of your Fizz as Chaos. So you put this helm on, you just die. Then we have a collection of gloves. Some of these gloves are insane. Let's take a look at the Snake Bite first. So your Chaos damage cannot poison, your physical damage cannot poison, but at least you have 17% chance to poison. So that's good. And +1 Frenzy. Next up, Carrion Karas. Attacks cannot cause bleeding. That's quite the downside. However, the upside is... there's no upside. Where's the upside? GGG? Any upsides? Any alt pressers? Okay, come on. No spoilers. What the fuck? Okay, I'll press alt. There you go. Attacks have 15 to 70% chance to cause bleeding. Which would be great if you could cause bleeding. But you can't, so it just hides it. It's here. And now it's not here. Next. Hrimsorrow. Ellie weakness on hit. Really strong corrupt. However, you cannot inflict curses. So, too bad. Unlucky for the corrupt. At least you have some leech. Same thing. Asenath. Very good. Curse on hit gloves. But you cannot inflict curses. So, it just doesn't work. Worm Sign. This gloves cannot cause bleeding, cannot poison with Fizz, cannot poison with Chaos. You just can't do anything with this. But at least you can knock back. Alright, here we go. The t-shirt. Man, this is the worst tabula that I've seen in Path of Exile. -2 level of Socketed Gems, 15% reduced life, Thorns, and you and your minions take reduced reflected damage. You can put this on at level 54. If you're so scrapped for a 6 link, you can put this on. Let's check out the shield. This shield has +1 maximum fire res, which is great. Unfortunately, it has -1 to all maximum res, so it's actually not great. It's actually just -1 for the other two, so... yeah, that's the shield. We have a Quackoli. It has some nice lightning damage and some nice chaos damage on the top, but you can't deal chaos damage or lightning damage, so it doesn't matter. So it's just 4 extra lines that don't do anything. These used to be able to spawn during the first 2 weeks of the league, and then they disabled the Krangles that disable themselves, so yeah. Same thing, extra Fizz, deal no Fizz. Goodbye. This one has Calling Strike, which is really nice, but you can't deal physical damage, and you can't deal fire damage, and this weapon only does fire damage. So, if you can find a way to do damage, then you can call with this, but yeah, kind of a disabled weapon. Speaking of disabled weapons, we have a Cospris Malice with Resolute Technique, which we've had before. A Cospris that you can't crit with, that's great, but at least you could do some cold damage with those. With this Cosprey, you can't even do cold damage, because you deal no cold damage. But at least if you manage to do some sort of damage, you have 4% chance to deal triple damage. So, That is the most Krangled cosplays out there, I think. This is from Bazooka Tank. We have a mirror tier wand. Let's just not look at the implicits for a while, okay? It's lightning damage, attack speed, insta-king, crit multi if there's an enemy nearby, spell damage per int craft. This is an insane wand, like actually mirror tier wand. But it got Krangled and it has 88% reduced lightning damage. So it's kind of dead. Same thing, quiver. It's really nice. It has extra crit chance and extra crit multi. Starts out great, and then you can never deal critical strikes. But it has some fire damage. Nope, you deal no fire damage. Nope, you just don't get to do anything. Actually, there's 2 more weapons. We have an Iron Commander with cold damage, but deal no cold damage. The same thing as these, like early league stuff. And Storm Cloud. Physical damage, deal no physical damage. Lightning damage, deal no lightning damage. This shield is +1 to maximum chance to block and 4% chance to block. So that's really good. But if you take a look at the last line, you have no chance to block. Let's check out the jewelry. This is the first item that made its way into the meme museum. We found it with the group during the first week. And it's crit multi, but your critical strikes deal no extra damage. So the crit multi is meaningless. We have a comb sign with +1 minimum endurance charges, but -1 maximum endurance charges, but also +1 maximum endurance charges. So it kind of evens out, and -1. This one, 10% chance to gain endurance charges on kill. Nice. But you cannot gain charges. Same thing here. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how many you have. You cannot gain them. So, Ongil's Harmony. Your critical strikes do not deal extra damage. And your critical strikes deal no extra damage. Twice. Atsiris Foible. Big mana regen item, right? 21% increased mana regen. Max mana. Huge 95% mana regen. But you have no mana regeneration. Nope. We have an anomalous portal, which is 0.5% chance to travel to the winding pier instead while on a lay fishing line. So we'll put on a fishing rod, we'll open a ley line map, and we'll cast 200 portals and see if we can get there, okay? Next, Dream Fragment. 32% chance to avoid being chilled, and 30% chance to avoid being frozen. But you already cannot be frozen and cannot be chilled with this ring, so that's kind of useless. The Anvil, 18% reduced cast speed, which on the item there already is 12% reduced cast speed. So this Anvil gives you 30% reduced cast speed. And then we have a ring, 10% chance to gain power charges on kill, but you cannot gain charges. So again, negating the purpose. Shackles of the Wretched, cannot block attacks, cannot cause poison with chaos, cannot cause poison with physical, cannot block spells. This is like, you cannot do anything, gloves. Alright, now we have some attribute stuff. This Repentance requires 972 strength to equip. Same thing, attributes. This was the in-stacking chest that we used for Marcus. That was his chest for the cast speed support. This chest requires 1005 int to put on. But when you put it on, it gives a lot of int, okay? Let's just say it like that. Speaking of int requirement, this chest has plus 180 intelligence requirement, but the chest itself has no attribute requirement, so it actually doesn't matter. The modifier doesn't apply. So this is actually just a positive Krangle, a positive only Krangle, okay? So finally a good Krangle, we found it. It took 2.5 months, but we found it. Alright. Cospris Will. You can apply 1 fewer curse, and you can apply 1 additional curse. So this one evens out. And now I present you the worst shavs in Path of Exile. This is a 6 off color, 0 link shavs with the agnostic keystone on it. Now, what is the agnostic keystone, you might ask? Well, the agnostic keystone makes it so that your maximum energy shield is 0. So if you want to use this shavs, which is for CI builds, and you can't because you have no ES. So rip. That's the upside, by the way. Yeah, it's also minus fire as. What happens if you put this on? Then I have 1 life and 0 ES. The final tab. This is some of the best stuff and some of the most cursed stuff. Start out with this corner. We have 3 unidentified white items. We've had one of these before in the past. I don't know. It's white items. They're unidentified. We could identify one of them. See what happens. Nothing. It's just a white item. Okay. Then we have a Scholar's Eternal Flask with no mods. It's a blue flask. It's supposed to be the Scholar's, but there is no mod. That's it. We had 2 of these, so to test it out, what happens if you OG it? It actually gets a mod. We got the warding mod on this one, but it still doesn't have the prefix, so I don't know. Where's the Scholar mod? What is this? Guys, look, it's a temple. Area level 69. Cool. Corruption chamber. Workshop. Say this then. Corruption chamber? There's 2 corruption chambers in this one. Why? How? It has 2 of the same room. Yeah. Didn't they fix this bug like 3 times? Apparently not. Next. This is a mirrored corrupted, bricked Unnatural Instinct, which is one of the most expensive jewels in the game. This one dropped like this from a strongbox to someone. Someone opened the strongbox in a corrupted map that drops a corrupted strongbox that had the drops mirrored thing, and he found a bricked Unnatural Instinct. Well, 2 of them, because it drops 2. So he gave us one of them. That's, yeah, unlucky. We have a Luel Nettles Vow, which is one of the new amulets, 150x. And we vaulted it, so it doesn't have a socket anymore. So it defeats the entire purpose of the amulet. We have 2 of these. One of them we got rid of the socket, and the other one we got a white socket, which is actually good. This is not really a meme item, it's just, this is a good item. You can put any color of gem in here. Alright, we have a Black Mole Talisman, which has 1 socket, but it's unidentified and it's corrupted. So you can never identify this, because it's corrupted. You can never equip this, you can never identify this. It's just a cursed item that you can't really do anything with. Can you put a gem in it? That's a good question. You cannot put a gem in it. Onslaught Hold. 1 socket, +1 level of strength gems, +1 level of dex gems, +1 level of int gems, and it's white socket. Any gem you put in this, it's gonna have +1 level. Very poggers. Doesn't have anything else. Simple, clean. Requires level 5. We have a white Thieves Trinket. This is pretty standard at this point. Everyone kind of made this, probably. I've been using this the entire league, and I was incubating stuff on this. It's just an empty Thieves Trinket that we made by Chaos Orbing. You can use the Tainted Chaos Orbs on any corrupted like Thieves Trinket, and then it eventually turns into a white one. So, cool. Now this is a fractured unique jewel that we made today last minute craft. You can Mythic Orb, fracture the jewels, and then sometimes they'll be unique, and those uniques will be fractured also. So that is the longest fractured line that I've ever seen on any item. That is one mod, right? And that mod is fractured on the jewel, so it's just the longest gold text on an item. It's also 5% damage corruption base. It's very cool, very based. Let's check out this Watcher's Eye. This one cannot be blinded, immune to freeze, and unaffected by frostbite. It's three different.
This is so poggers.
It's three different lines which kind of do the same thing. In not really, because unaffected means you can still be three different kinds of wordings for the immune stuff. This one is just a white Watcher's Eye with 1% movement speed. That is that's pretty cursed, I think. It got the 1% implicit, harvest crafted, and then it got bricked, and then it got chaos orb. So that is the remnants of a Watcher's Eye. This quiver we crafted yesterday. We bricked a bunch of Maloney's, which is the unique quiver. It's the only ornate quiver there is. So we bricked 5 of them, so that we can vendor 5-1, get a base, put a veiled mod on it, split it, and then put multi-mod, 2 other crafts on it, and then Krangle it. And we got deal no chaos damage. So and then we put an incubator. We put a talisman incubator on it. This is this is one of the most cursed items we made, I think. It looks, I don't know, just look at it. It's so bad. But why? Why not? So that we can show it here, I guess. That's it. This one is a Jabate. This is a 3 white socket oppressor. People filter these so that they can see the Squire, because the Squire only drops with 3 white sockets. And this dropped, and it's not a Squire. It's an oppressor. It's the biggest Jabate drop ever. This will ting on all of your filters. It's 1 alk. Alright, moving on to the maps. We have a Vol pyramid map. It's a Vol. Because that prefix is called Vol, and the map is called Vol Pyramid, and it's Vald. It's corrupted. It's a Vol pyramid map. Wow. This one is a Blight Ravaged Terrace map. Let's see if they fix these. These maps cannot be opened this league, at least up until a few weeks ago for sure. These are just bugged. You put it in your map device, any Blighted Terrace map, any Blight Ravaged Terrace map, you couldn't run this entire league. You put it in, and it just says, activation failed. Unable to open portals to area. There's a map in the game that you can't run. Then we have some cursed tabulas here. We have a simple robe with 6 blue sockets. It's a superior simple robe with hunter influence. It's not actually a tabula. It's just a simple robe. And then this one is also a simple robe. It has 2 of each colors, very nicely. And they're not linked. So it's a 0 link X tabula. Alright, let's look at these belts. First off, we have a fractured Mageblood. I think this is a one of its kind. It was made like these jewels. Someone made this. It's a 2 flask. Oh, we bought it from Mirror. Okay. Epsi, thank you for the shout out for that. Epsi was like, yo, you should probably buy this Mageblood. It's pretty cool. It's a 2 flask one, so it's terrible. And it has the decks fractured on it. Looks cool. It's a fractured Mageblood. And now, we finally got a Quant Headhunter. But it's a replica. Max roll 2. 5 Quant. It's been 5 years. Okay, now let's look at this Mageblood. This is the most Krangled Mageblood. It's enchanted, triple implicit, and it has increased flask charges gained, which doesn't do anything. I guess it does for your 5th flask, and reduced mana recovery from flasks. This is one of the 2 Magebloods that actually ended up with an implicit when we double corrupted 24 of them. And we Krangled this twice. And we stopped at this one because it's kind of a cursed mod. Kind of useless. Kind of funny. So that's the Mageblood. And now, the final item. What is this item? It's just a bow. There's literally nothing interesting about it. However, if you go full screen and you open a quad tab and you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then it goes kind of crazy all the way down until like 10 more slots. I don't know how you find this stuff, but someone came to me today. He's like, do you want a bugged item? And he told me the instructions on what to do. And there it is. So thank you for watching the meme museum, guys. Thank you for supporting me this league. It's been a very Krangled one. I played a lot. I enjoyed it. The memes have been pretty great this league, I think. Thank you for being here. And see you in the next one. Bye.